Welcome to the channel where we taste things completely blind to cut out all the bias and give you the most honest opinions possible. Welcome to the month of February. It's the month of love. Hopefully, we love what is ever in this glass. Let's get into it.
If you're new here, welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. Thank you so much for joining us today. As we said earlier, we taste things completely blind to remove all bias and give you the most honest opinions possible. And we don't do whiskey reviews, we do whiskey reactions to the blind pours. So I think it is a pretty cool setup. And if you like that sort of thing, think about subscribing to the channel. It's just going to get more content like this in your feed.
Yes.
But the sample right here, or rather this sample jar right here, was drawn at random from a whole bunch of samples that we have compiled of various American and international whiskeys, and we don't know what we're getting to other than the fact that it's in a clear jar, so it is an American bourbon or rye. But let's get into the nose and see what we think about it.
So typically when we film, we do a warm-up pour.
Yeah.
And it was a Four Roses.
Four Roses small batch, yeah.
This smells like that.
Oh, smell this. Smell the Four Roses small batch. It's so much more fragrant than whatever this is. The Four Roses small batch was really caramelly.
Okay, this smells like that, but brighter. There's like an undertone of it that's similar, but it does smell brighter.
Yeah, this is a little brighter, thinner, wispier. Smells wispy.
Okay.
Yeah, like airy. I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Not as strong. I'm getting a little bit of like a, to your point, kind of like this like strawberry fruity sweetness, which kind of get them Four Roses sometimes.
I'm not saying that it is Four Roses,
Right.
but it reminded me of the pour that I just had to warm up my palate, so that's
Right.
why I'm saying it.
Yeah, and sometimes we share that stuff with you guys, just opening the kimono a little bit, letting you see behind the scenes here. So let's get this on the palate and see what we're working with. Nose is all right.
It tastes pretty bright. Like it's in the upper registers. If it was a song, it'd be all like in the upper registers.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this, to be honest with you. I mean, we're just coming off of warming up with that Four Roses pour, and this is a little thinner, brighter.
It is bright.
All the differences in the nose carry over to the palate. It's got a little bit of, I'm getting like a weird note on the finish. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
It's like a light bitterness.
I'm getting kind of like, I'm trying to place it. I need another sip, but it's almost like an aftertaste of eating an Airhead.
Oh, I love the taste of Airheads.
But it's like the aftertaste of it once you've already eaten it.
Okay.
It's what it's reminding me of, but I need another sip to verify.
Let's get another sip.
On the second sip, I kind of smelled it as I was drinking it, and it kind of gave me a very grain, like corn husk nose.
Yeah.
And then because I got that on the nose, I'm getting corn husk on the palate, and it's also drying the second sip.
Yeah. I'm getting a really dry finish on this, and not in a good way for myself personally.
Yeah.
A decent bit of bitterness on the finish. There's kind of this overall lack of sweetness on the pour. Not getting a lot of distinct flavor notes or anything like that. Just it seems like it's bourbon, but just not as sweet as I want bourbon to be. For me, that's a little bit of a deal breaker because I really like sweet bourbon. Like, if you're going to be bourbon, to me, be sweet, be good. And this isn't quite living up to that.
And you typically like darker too. This is fairly bright.
Yeah, that's fair. Proof seems fairly low. I just, we try to do these in a vacuum and evaluate the pour just by itself. I only keep mentioning the Four Roses small batch because that is what we warm up with, and we know that pour well, so it's a good acclimation pour, pretty middle of the road, $30 bottle. This doesn't seem any better than that. In fact, I would much rather just drink the Four Roses small batch pour than whatever's in this glass, but let's get a sip and some ratings.
Yeah, I'm going to go just okay on this. It's fine. It's not for me. It's too bright for me, I think. If you are someone who likes a brighter pour, then this may be for you. It's not super complex, but I don't really necessarily mind that. But it's a little too bright, so I'm just going just okay.
Yeah, to me, I'm actually going to go thumbs down on this. Again, Four Roses small batch is a $30 bottle. I'd much rather drink that than this.
Fair.
It's the likelihood, and if this is $10 or $15, maybe I can reevaluate my stance here.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just not something I enjoy personally and not something I'm going to reach for. And I actually do find the bitterness on the finish to be something that I actually don't like and find off-putting. I don't typically go thumbs down on pours unless there's something like that in there that I find to be particularly off-putting, and I'm getting that in this. It's not disgusting by any means. It's drinkable for sure. I could finish a glass of it, but it's not a bottle I would ever reach for on my own. So let's find out the price and see if that changes how we feel. This is number 60 in our pool.
It is $60.
I will stay thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm going to stay just okay. Like, it's not for me, but
it's not bad for you.
It's not bad. Like, it's fine.
You're not having... You tend to like things that aren't as sweet. I like more sweet things. So you're not having as negative of an experience. And even saying it's a negative experience that feels very heavy-handed for what is a very middling experience. But there's just something in there that I don't like. So what you're seeing here is the difference in our palate preferences and me liking things that are a little bit more sweet versus Erin liking things that, you know, she likes that kind of tempered sweetness. So, all right, let's find out what we're drinking. Number 60 in our pool.
We are drinking Ben Holiday 7-year Bottled in Bond. It's 100 proof, and this is thanks to Stephen Walt. So thank you, Stephen.
Stephen, thank you so much. Okay.
What was that look for when I said what we were drinking?
People love Ben Holiday.
We've had some good ones. Didn't we have one recently in a...
We have had...
In a blind?
I think we've had the Rickhouse proof of the soft red wheat.
Okay.
And we had the Rickhouse proof of just the rye-based bourbon.
Okay.
We do like those. I think what we're experiencing here right now is
the watering down to 100 proof.
100 proof. I mean, it's got age. It's got 7 years. It is a craft distillery, and this is their own stuff. But, you know, this is... Ben Holiday is like... I don't know how I would describe it. Like, it's having a moment right now in the whiskey space. In the bourbon world, there's a lot of juice behind them, no pun intended. A lot of people are really talking about how much they enjoy Ben Holiday. And I think what this tasting right here is proving to me is that, like maybe the Rickhouse proofs, they've done well. They've been in some of our blind flight nights for our Patreon community, and those have fared very well, the Rickhouse proofs. But the lower proof point, and maybe it's the watering down, maybe it's just whatever selection they put into this bottled and bond batch, you know, it's just not doing it for me today.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not doing it for me, really. It's just fine. It's just okay for me. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment.
I would like to make a note on bottled and bond whiskey, and this is something that I don't see people talk about a lot. By the very nature of it being bottled and bond, it's going to change over time. All whiskey does this through batches and batch variants and all that flavor drift. With bottled and bond, it has to be the same barrels from the same distillation season in a federally bonded warehouse. So it's either January to June or July to December, and all those have to be put together to make a bottled and bond product. So as the seasons go by and as the years go on, you know, this is a 7-year bourbon, you know, that came out last year, 2024, I believe it was. So it was pulling barrels from whatever, 2017.
Okay.
You know, maybe the first half of the year of 2017 or the second half of the year. In 2 more years, these are going to be barrels from 2019. And they're going to have lived 7 years in a different, it's the same climate, but the seasons are different.
The season, like the summer of 2017 could have been hotter than the summer of 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are going to get some flavor drift on a product like this. They can only blend it so much. They can only get so close. You've got to work with what you have, and bottled and bond by its very nature is going to drift a little bit. Yeah. So that's why it's important, if you get a bottled and bond product that you really like, go back and get more of that bottle if you want to have it for the future, because it is a fleeting product that will not be the same in future iterations of that same product.
And it may not change drastically. You may not be able to tell, but it might. So you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So very interesting. First exposure to any of the lower proof Ben Holiday offerings here for us. And I've left them on the shelf up until this point, and I think I'm fine leaving them there going forward. However, you may love them, especially if you like tempered sweetness and, you know, a little bit more of a soft, approachable profile. That's kind of fitting within that, you know, wheelhouse there. So let us know if you've tried this pour, what you think about it in the comments below. Absolutely. While you're down there, give us a thumbs up if you like this video and these honest opinions. I can honestly say that if I would have known this was Ben Holiday 7-year bottled in bond, knowing all the hullabaloo and all the positive reviews within the community towards this distillery, I probably would have been far more favorable towards it than I was.
Which is why we do it blind, so you don't have any bias.
Right. So again, subscribe if you like that style of content and these honest opinions. And while you're down there, if you would like to check out our Patreon community and join an online home full of a bunch of people who are amazing people who love good whiskey, and people are sharing and samples and helping people find bottles and everything all the time over there on Patreon and on Discord once you get through Patreon. That's all in the video description below. Our barrel picks get released over there, bonus content, bonus live streams, giveaways, all sorts of stuff. You can check it out down there while you're there.
Absolutely. And
you can check out shirts like this one, Be Good, Do Good, Drink Good Whiskey at stuffandwhiskey.com, as well as some glassware, some various other odds and ends. It's all over there on the website.
Yep. Thank you so much for watching. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Been holiday. letting me down.
I know. It was okay. I've had better.
Now it's getting sweeter.
Of course. This is why we have to do it blind for you, because you are...
I'm the problem.
You are the problem.